I've been using the Eightsleep Pod 3 cover for just over 6 months now, so it's time for an updated review. That's 197 sleeps and 2,945 adjustments it's made during those sleep sessions. So in this updated review, I'm going to tell you what the best things are about the Eightsleep Pod 3, also, more importantly, what the worst things are, and probably the most important thing for something at this price point, does it bloody work? Let's get cracking. So let's start by looking at what you're actually getting. So this is the pod. This sits by the side of your bed and this handles all the cooling and the warming. It's like, I would say like a small PC tower. I think they've actually done a really good job of making the pod look really good. The color's nice and neutral, so it will look good in your bedroom. Inside the top of the pod here, you have the water reservoir, which is full of distilled water and peroxide, which you can buy on Amazon. Now, I'm the sort of person who can't sleep with the fan on in the room. Even some aircon is too noisy for me, and bathroom fans are probably the worst. However, this fan in here, they've picked a really good one. It doesn't make that much noise, and the noise it does make is quite a nice like white noise. I think it's actually helpful in getting to sleep. At the bottom here, you've got these two. So this is for each side of the bed, and you've got a feed into the bed and then a return back. And those outlets then connect to this, which is a hose, which leads into the Pod 3 cover, and it cools and heats either side of the bed. One thing I have noticed over a few months of use though, is you do get like this bobbling, which doesn't affect the way it works. It just doesn't look quite as good as it did when it was new out the box. So that hose we've just talked about connects into here, and this is, in my case, this is my wife's side of the bed. This is my side of the bed. If you sleep alone, it just creates one big zone, and you can see how it gets the water around the top of this cover, and this sits at the side of your mattress, so you don't feel it. But in here you've got a small computer which manages all of the sensors that you've got inside the Pod 3 cover. And then an hour before your bedtime, it sets itself to the temperature you desire. So you're either getting into a lovely cool bed, a warm bed, or a neutral bed. I went for the perfect fit version of the Pod 3 cover, and it's a perfect fit. I would score the comfort levels as 10 out of 10. You really can't tell it's on your bed. I also had the previous version to this, and although that was very comfortable, that was more kind of 8 out of 10 because it did stiffen the bed up slightly. But with this one, however comfortable your bed is now, you'll have the same comfort when you fitted this on top. You can either set the temperatures in Fahrenheit or Celsius, or I just prefer numbers. So they go from -10 to +10. In the summer, I like to get into a bed that's -4. As the night goes on, it goes to -5. And then when I wake up, it's at -3. And it has a feature called Autopilot, which looks at how you're sleeping and your sleep stages, and it makes micro adjustments to that temperature just to ensure you're getting the best sleep that it can possibly give you. There are so many sensors inside the Eightsleep Pod 3 to measure your weight, your time you're awake, your light sleep, your REM, and your deep sleep. And it constantly makes these tiny adjustments throughout the night just to help optimize your sleep and make sure that you're feeling good for the next day. The Eightsleep also helps us create good sleep routines and have more of a consistent bedtime and waking up time. And these are things that are just really important if you want to optimize your sleep. As you can probably tell, I love my Eightsleep, and if you're thinking about buying one, I'll put a link in the description. That will take you directly to Eightsleep's website where there should be a discount, and that link also helps support the channel and enables me to make more videos like this one. So thanks very much. And there are a couple of features on the Eightsleep that I wouldn't say we don't like, we just don't use them. So one of them is a vibration alarm. So in theory, this is better than waking up with your iPhone, for instance, because what the Eightsleep Pod 3 cover will do is it will gently vibrate to wake you up, which sounds fantastic, and it is a good feature. And if, for instance, you get up at a different time to your partner, you can set it just to vibrate on your side of the bed, and then you wake up and you can quietly try and get out and not wake your partner up. Now, in practice, it's not quite as good. The reason being is, even on the lowest vibration setting, if I set my side to vibrate, On the lowest vibration setting, there's a chance my wife will still feel it and wake up. And also to turn it off, you need to go and get your phone, open the app, and then turn the alarm off, which is less convenient. The other feature we don't use is a thermal alarm. So at weekends, for instance, when it doesn't really matter when you get up, you can set a thermal alarm to wake you up. So it will either make the bed colder or hotter, whichever you decide. And the Eightsleep is monitoring your sleep cycles. And when you're at the end of a sleep cycle and it's around the time you want to get up, it will gently increase the temperature or decrease the temperature of the cover to kind of bring you up beautifully into the world. In theory, that is another good feature. In practice, I find that I just wake up a bit hot. So after a perfect night's sleep of being the right temperature throughout the night, I then just wake up a little bit sweaty and uncomfortable. So we don't use that feature either. There is a subscription with the Pod 3 sleep cover, which does seem slightly odd for a sleeping product. However, they're constantly innovating and evolving the product, and it has got better, the app's got better, the sensors are responding better than it did when I first got it, and I do appreciate that innovation. But at the same time, I think a subscription might not be for everyone. So if a subscription isn't for you, then after the first year, you can just stop having the subscription and keep the features of the Eightsleep. However, you won't get a lot of the sleep data it gives you. But I would say, I mean, after a year, you've kind of got pretty used to what it's doing. So you might decide that you just want the functionality of having the temperature adjustment throughout the night, and you don't need all that data going forward. So there is a bit of a compromise there for people who don't like subscriptions. When I buy a product like this, I try and guess how long I'm going to keep it. Say, for instance, I'm going to keep this for 5 years before I buy the next version of the Eightsleep. Then I divide the cost by the amount of days. So in this case, it's around the $2,000 mark. And if I divide that by 1,825 days, with the cost of that subscription in the first year only, then it's about $1.25 each night you sleep on it. And that might seem like good or bad value for you. If you add the subscription for the rest of the years, then that might be $1.60. In my case, my sleep is around 20% better than it was before I bought the Eightsleep. So that cost per night does make it cost effective for me. If someone said, would you pay $1.60 for a really good night's sleep tonight, then I would say yes. In my wife's case, she's a woman of a certain age, menopause. She also comes from a long line of night thinkers. And she estimates that her sleep has improved by 50%. So for my wife, this is a no-brainer because she really does feel the benefits of having the Eightsleep on the bed. So in conclusion, and after using it for over 6 months now, I genuinely wouldn't be without a Pod 3 cover on my bed, and I wake up feeling refreshed nearly every single morning. I'm not quite as laid back as people assume I am, and I do feel more chilled as a result of using the Eightsleep. Better sleep leads to better working out. It also leads to better concentration in my work, in my day job, and my quality time with my family is better, basically because I just feel more refreshed. I can see that it is hard though to get your head around essentially an expensive mattress topper being a fitness device. And it's not like a Peloton or a treadmill where you can tell your friends, yeah, jump on, have a go. If you invite someone to get into your bed, I mean, especially at a dinner party, it does look a little bit odd, doesn't it? I bought this Eightsleep Pod 3 cover with my own money, and when they bring out a new version this one's a fairly new version, so I think it'll be a couple of years, but when they bring out the new version, I will probably buy that as well with my own money. As mentioned, I'll put a link in the description to take you to their website. There'll probably be a discount there, and it also helps the channel. And if you want to know what it's like to unbox an Eightsleep and install it on your bed, then you'll need to watch this video here. Until next time, see you soon.